Welcome everybody, it's Janice here. I've just put this little video up just to give me a minute or two to just say a few things before we get into the main video. And I will tell you a little bit later about this tidal pool. But firstly, I just wanted to thank everybody that's asked me how I'm feeling after that terrible flu that I had. I don't know, these flus just seem to get worse every year. I'm feeling much better. I ended up going to visit my daughter up on the north coast and my grandchildren, and I ended up getting antibiotics because it had gone into my chest. But I'm 95% there. So the next few days, hopefully I'll be back to being 100%. And then secondly, I just want to thank each and every one of you that have subscribed to the channel, that have commented and liked. I am so grateful. I'm so humbled. Thank you so much. That's all I can really say. I so appreciate it. And hopefully this channel will just keep on growing like it has. And it's all due to every single one of you. So thank you so much. So like I said, I went and stayed for a few days with my daughter and son-in-law and my grandchildren. And it was just such a lovely, relaxing time. So they stay about 1 kilometer from the beach. And we have such a beautiful coastline all along, up the north coast, down the south coast. It's very rocky, but there is just the most beautiful golden brown sandy beaches as well. It's actually beyond words. It's just so beautiful. We are so blessed. So we just explored around a little bit. The weather was really nice. Surf was a little bit rough, but we just explored rock pools. We saw crabs. We really just honestly messed around for quite a few hours on the beach. It was really just lovely being with the kids, and of course the dogs loved it as well. They had huge fun. So this is this huge tidal pool that is on the beach. Now these are quite common all up and down our coast, and this was built in about the 1940s. And you can see on the hillside there's a caravan park. And then as I pan over, you'll see a hotel. And they built this in the 1940s just, for children to play in. There's snorkeling, there's little fish in there, and it's all obviously salt water. And what they do is once a year they actually drain it, just to really clean it up, and it gets filled again at high tide when the waves come crashing over the wall there. And it's just, oh, the kids love it. I love it as well. It's just lovely. It's quite, there's shallow parts and there's deep parts, but you can snorkel in there. It's really gorgeous. Definitely my happy place. I love being on the beach. It's just where I clear my head. It's where I think. I just meditate there. It's beautiful. So yeah, as I said, we are incredibly lucky to have this on our doorstep, really. And then we took the dogs on the beach, and they're crazy about running after balls. So we gave them some fun as well and gave them some exercise. And this one absolutely loves the water. And she is never without a ball in her mouth. She is ball crazy. I hope you didn't mind me showing you that. It was really just to have time to say thank you to you all. So what I'm going to do today, I want to do a double layer bloom. I haven't done one before. And one of our subscribers, Rose, suggested a while back that I try one. So thank you, Rose. I am going to do that right now. So I've got 100 grams of my 1-to-1 craft resin. It's pre-mixed and it's already been standing for about 16 minutes. I've got white pigment paste. I have got a wine-colored alcohol ink and a white alcohol ink. And I've got my thermometers. Now, I'm going to use both thermometers. So that test was on 33. I want to get it up to over 34. And I'm going to use both my thermometers in case someone hasn't got a digital, just to show you that just a normal thermometer will do a good reading as well. So I'm going to start making my pigment paste mixture now. And I've just literally dipped my stick into my white pigment paste. It's a pigment paste I got off Shein and it works perfectly. And because I won't be needing that much, I've only put in about maybe 10 grams. It's not a lot of my pre-mixed resin. Mixing it really well. And then I'm just going to put that aside as well. So I didn't want to take you through the whole waiting process. So I did kind of switch the camera on and I've switched it off and I've switched it on again. So my resin is up now to 34.5. I'm happy with that. And I'm doing a reading on this thermometer as well. And it's the same. And my resin has now been standing for 27 minutes. It's taken that long to get to that temperature. And it's just because we've got much cooler weather now. We're going into winter. And so the resin does take longer. In summer, it was taking me 17 minutes. It's now up to 27 minutes. Now, what I did with the gold, it's a normal mica powder that I brushed on around the edge. It just saves a whole lot of time, and I don't have to do the gold at the end with my pen. I want to see if it works, and hopefully it will. So I'm putting just a small amount of my alcohol ink in the center of my mold, and that's my wine colored alcohol ink. It's a South African brand called Dala, and I'm super happy with it. I'm happy with the price. It's really highly concentrated, so I'm happy that I've tested their products out and they're amazing. And then I'm just going to take my white pigment paste mixture and I'm going to start forming my bloom. So you all know that the reason that you've got to heat your resin up is because as it cools down, it pulls towards the center of your mold, and that's what's going to form your petals. And then I'm hoping that the pink alcohol ink will also pull in towards the center as well. I don't really want like a ring left around there, if you know what I mean. I need it to all pull in towards the center. So I'm crossing my fingers and hoping that that's going to happen as the resin cools down and starts pulling into the middle. And so this is the next day. And I've got 100 grams of my 1-to-1 craft resin. It looks like it's blue, but it's not. It's just that there was blue cured resin at the bottom of this, and I just recycle my cups. Now I've got a plum and I've got my wine alcohol inks again. I'm going to use my wine again, and then I'm going to use the plum on the outside. So I'm trying to get a variation of kind of dark to lighter in the middle. Make sure your mold is nice and centered. My bloom is a little bit, it's not that it's off center, it's just that it's got more petals on the one side than the other. You can see there, but wait till you see the end result. It honestly didn't matter, and that's why I'm kind of thinking maybe this, if someone's battling with blooms, maybe this is the way to go. Because it kind of covers up a bit of mistakes. And it came out, wait till you see it. Just wait till you see it. Thank you, Rose, for even suggesting this. I'm so glad I tried it. So once again, I've taken a tiny bit of my white pigment paste. And this time I'm going to need more. So I'm mixing about 20 grams of my resin. That is also pre-mixed into my white pigment paste, and I'm stirring it really well. So my resin has been standing for quite a while. I think I was on 25 minutes here. And I want to get it up to 34. So it's 34.7. And now I'm going to just do a test with the other one. And it was the same reading. So for my resin, that's a good temperature. I know that my bloom will work. And then this is the wine that I'm going to use again. It's the same color that I used originally on the first layer. And then I'm going to put the plum on the outside. And then I just blended the plum just around the edges. I'm very keen to see if the gold marker powder, that's just plain gold marker powder that I brushed onto the sides there. So it'll be great if it does work, because it just saves you time in having to use your gold pen to finish off your coaster at the end. And then I'm keeping to the exact same pattern that I used on the first layer, but this time I'm going to go right up to the edge. And then once again, if you see any blobs, just pull them out. A blob is going to sink to the bottom, so you don't want blobs. You want to kind of try and have as smooth a line as you can when you're doing your petals. I was over the moon with this bloom. I think it's probably one of my best blooms I've done. It came out beautiful. It wasn't as dark as I thought it would be around the outer edges, but it was still very beautiful. It was very kind of you could see the dimension on it. It was beautiful. So this is the next day. Everything's cured. You can see how it's pulled in. And I have got another 100 grams of my 1:1 resin. I've pre-mixed it. And I'm going to add some black mica powder into that. Stir it really well. You don't want any little lumps left behind. And then I poured it over the entire back. I popped any of the bubbles with my heat gun, and then I covered it and I left it overnight to cure. And because I know that this mold has lost its shine, I knew that I was going to have a have to do a top coat, which I didn't show on this video because I just don't like to make my videos too long. But I did do a top coat, and I actually filmed it. I did a video so that I could show people on a separate video how I do my top coats and use latex at the back, but I haven't included it here. So when I show you the bloom, it will already have its nice shiny top coat on. Right, so this is the next day. I've just laid it in the mold. I've done the top coat on it. And I was thrilled with it, absolutely thrilled with it. I thought it was very beautiful. The gold mica powder border worked beautifully, so that saves me time. And thank you, Rose, for suggesting I do it. I'm very glad you did. So thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next video. Any questions? You know that I love trying to help, so please just put any questions in the comments.